I believe that is New India needled with these kind of provocative discussions. That is why I have given you the wide berth of what my way of life brings to the country. Today, when I said that my way of life talks about good health, and I speak about vaccine Maitri, and I speak about Ayushman Bharat, let's contextualize what that program means for the average Indian woman. Under the Ayushman Bharat Yojana, and I've said this multiple times, 31 crore Indians have received screenings for cancer free of cost, of which 17 crore are Indian women who have screened themselves for cancer of the cervix and cancer of the breast. Now, pre-2014, if you spoke to anybody about Indian women in the rural landscape or in the poorest of the poor having the capacity to have a conversation around the cancer of the cervix, you would be told that this conversation will not be a part of regressive communities. The fact that these 17 crore women stepped up and utilized a healthcare program so that they could get screened means that these women were aware of the challenges and were waiting for a workable solution. And I think that is my way of life. That is New India. New India provides 800 million Indians free food in a pandemic for not only 2 years, but post-pandemic, so that things stabilize, provides them additional support for this 1 year as well. New India provides close to 90 million women in self-help groups, credit worth $32 billion every year to manage. And that is the New India I'm extremely proud about. And I'll not be apologetic about that New India just because I'm a Hindu. I'm married to a micro-minority community member. I'm married to a Zoroastrian. There are barely 55,000 of them across the world. And I'm very proud when my Parsi family gets up and says, I'm not a minority because an Indian cannot be a minority in his or her own country. And I think that one has to be cognizant of the fact that when Prime Minister Modi speaks about Ayushman Bharat, does it not encompass all communities? It most definitely does. When he builds 30 million homes for the poor, does it not have homes for those who come from the minority community? Most certainly it does. When he gives Kisan Samman Nidhi, a cash transfer to the bank accounts of 10 crore farmers, 30% of them, as data has shown on many platforms, are from the minority community. What is now insistent upon us is to ensure that we do not give rise to feelings of segregation and that we bring people together and say as a collective we are one nation. That when I see a man in uniform or a lady in uniform, I identify her as an Indian and an Indian alone. That when I see a child for whom the new education policy is derived, and I had the greatest privilege of writing the foundational document for it, for the first time in 30 years we have a new document that talks about a gender inclusion fund. Does it include the gender needs academically for minority girls and women? Most certainly it does.